you not understand this parable? How will you understand all the parables?
Shalom, family. We're in this day because it is the will of ABBA YAH. And Abba has a purpose for us. We must synchronize ourselves into this purpose by seeking ABBA YAH. This will require some quiet one-on-one time with the Chief Shepherd to understand what this purpose is. There are quite a few parables in Scripture used to illustrate what Yah wanted to convey to the sheep. The videos, Burning House, and Parable of the Empty House, here on Shepherd and Sheep, are used to demonstrate the parable of the unclean spirit. Most may not have heard of the apocryphal book called The Gospel of Truth. Here we find a parable that is used to help guide the sheep to the mighty Chief Shepherd, just as all the parables are used for. The videos here on Beside Still Waters are to watch and meditate on. So, let's find a quiet place to be alone with ABBA YAH so that we may hear the still, small voice as Yah speaks to us one-on-one. Now that we are in our quiet place, we ask our sister to lead us in with prayer and then bring us into this meditation, Parable of the Jar.
O Abba, as we come before you humbly, like a child, Abba, at your feet, this prayer we bring before you, Abba. Help us to tune out the world, that we will focus only on you, to hear you and obey you. Help us to understand the message in this meditation so that we make the necessary corrections in our lives. We, the sheep, need you for our guidance in every step we take, O mighty Chief Shepherd, and we barak your name and your Son, Yahushua Ha Mashiah. Right now, we give you our undivided attention in the name of Yahushua Ha Mashiah. And now we ask our brother to lead us into this meditation by reading from the Gospel of Truth, starting at the parable of the jar.
For this reason, they who have been troubled speak about Yahushua in their midst, so that they may receive restoration, and he may anoint them with the ointment that is the pity of the Father Yahuwah, who will have pardon on them. But those whom he has anointed are those who are perfect. For filled vessels are usually coated with sealing wax, but when the coating is ruined, the vessel may leak, and the cause of its defect is the lack of coating. For then the breath of wind and the power that it has can make it evaporate. But from the jar that is without defect no seal is removed, nor does it leak. but what it lacks is filled again by the perfect Father, Yahuwah. Yahuwah is good. He knows his plantings because he is the one who has planted them in his eternal rest. And his paradise is his place of rest.
Toda Rabbah. Thanks be multiplied to our sister for bringing us the opening prayer, and our brother for leading us into this meditation. When Yah gives us truth or instructions, we are to tighten the lid on our jars so that the word of Yah won't evaporate when the wind of the world blows. As we go into these verses, let's ask ourselves if the jar was opened or closed. Let's pay close attention as our sister brings us in with Luke chapter 8. Take notice that the principle of the lid being on and the lid being off are both represented in this parable.
Luke chapter 8, verses 1 through 15. And it came to pass afterward that he went throughout every city and village, preaching and showing the glad tidings of the kingdom of Yah. And the 12 were with him, and certain women which had been healed of evil spirits and infirmities, Mary called Magdalene, out of whom went 7 devils, and Joanna, the wife of Chuza, Herod's steward, and Susanna, and many others, which ministered unto him of their substance. And when many people were gathered together, and were come to him out of every city, he spoke by a parable. A sower went out to sow his seed, and as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and it was trodden down, and the fowls of the air devoured. And some fell upon a rock, and as soon as it was sprang up, it withered away, because it lacked moisture. And some fell among the thorns, and the thorns sprang up with it, and choked it. And others fell on good ground, and sprang up, and bare fruit 100-fold. And when he had saw these things, he cried, He that had ears to hear, let him hear. And his disciples asked him, saying, What might this parable be? And he said, Unto you it is given to know the mysteries of the kingdom of Yah, but to others in parables, that seeing they might not see, and hearing they might not understand. Now the parable is this. The seed is the word of Yah. Those by the wayside are they that hear. Then cometh the devil, and taketh away the word out of their hearts, lest they should believe and be saved. They on the rock are they which, when they hear, receive the word with joy, and these have no root, which for a while believe, and in time of temptation fall away. And they which fell among the thorns are they which, when they have heard, go forth, and are choked with cares and riches and pleasures of this life, and bring no fruit to perfection. But that one on good ground are they which in an honest and good heart, having heard the word, kept it, and brought fruit with patience. Now, as our sister bring us to 2 Kings, pay very close attention to see if the lid was on the jar or if the lid was off.
Now in the 14th year of King Hezekiah did Sennacherib, king of Assyria, come up against all the fenced cities of Judah and took them. And Hezekiah, king of Judah, sent to the king of Assyria, to Lachish, saying, I have offended. Return from me. That which you put on me will I bear. And the king of Assyria appointed unto Hezekiah, king of Judah, 300 talents of silver and 30 talents of gold. And Hezekiah gave him all the silver that was found in the house of the Most High and in the treasures of the king's house. At that time did Hezekiah cut off the gold from the doors of the temple of the Most High and from the pillars which Hezekiah king of Judah had overlaid, and gave it to the king of Assyria. At that time Baladan, the son of Baladan, king of Babylon, sent letters and a present unto Hezekiah, for he had heard that Hezekiah had been sick. And Hezekiah hearkened unto them, and showed them all the house of his precious things, the silver and the gold, and the spices, and the precious ointment, and all the house of his armor, and all that was found in his treasures. There was nothing in his house, nor in all his dominion, that Hezekiah showed them not. Then came Isaiah the prophet unto King Hezekiah, and said unto him, What did these men say? And from where did they come unto you? And Hezekiah said, They are from a far country, even from Babylon. And he said, What have they seen in this house? And Hezekiah answered, All the things that are in my house have they seen. There is nothing among my treasures that I have not showed them. And Isaiah said unto Hezekiah, Hear the word of the Most High. Behold, the days come that all this in your house, and that which your fathers have laid up in store unto this day, shall be carried into Babylon. Nothing shall be left, said the Most High. And of your sons that shall come from you, which you shall have, shall they be taken away, and they shall be eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babylon. Did Hezekiah have the lid on or off? Let's see what our forefathers did when they were asked to sing a song of Zion to a strange nation.
Psalms 137 verses 1 through 4. By the rivers of Abba, there we sat down and we wept as we remember Zion. We hung our lowries upon the willows in the midst of it. For there our captors asked us for the words of a song, and our plunderers for rejoicing. Sing to us a song of Zion. How could we sing a song of ABBA YAH on foreign land? Can we see the parable of the jar here? Was the lid on or off? Let's look at Psalms 119 to see what Yah says about the jar being open or closed.
Blessed are the undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of the Most High. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies, and that seek him with the whole heart. They also do no iniquity, they walk in his ways. You have commanded us to keep your precepts diligently. Oh, that my ways were directed to keep your statutes. Then shall I not be ashamed when I have respect unto all your commandments. I will praise you with uprightness of heart when I shall have learned your righteous judgments. I will keep your statutes. O forsake me not utterly. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto, according to your word. With my whole heart have I sought you. Oh, let me not wander from your commandments. Your word have I hid in my heart, that I might not sin against you. And now we go to Baruch, chapter 4, verses 1 through 3, to see if the lid should be opened or closed.
Baruch, chapter 4. This is the book of the commandments of Yahuwah, and the Torah that endure forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Turn thee, O Yaakov, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that you may be illuminated. Give not your honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto you to a strange nation.
Brother, read verses 3 again for us, please.
O Yasharal, give not your honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto you to a strange nation.
Just one more time for us, please, brother.
Give not your honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto you to a strange nation.
Now that we have some clear understanding of the jar being open or closed, let's meditate even deeper. Let's see what happened to a man of Yah when he was given a command directly by ABBA YAH, our chief shepherd.
1 Kings chapter 13. And see, a man of Elohim went from Yehudah to Bethel by the word of Yahuwah, while Jeroboam was standing by the altar to burn incense. And he cried out against the altar by the word of Yahuwah and said, O altar, altar! Thus said Yahuwah, see, a son is to be born to the house of David. Yoshiyahu is his name. And on you he shall offer the priests of the high places who burn incense on you, and men's bones be burned on you. And he gave a sign the same day, saying, This is the sign which Yahuwah has spoken. See, the altar is split apart, and the ashes on it are poured out. And it came to be, when the sovereign Jeroboam heard the saying of the man of Elohim, who cried out against the altar in Bethel, that he stretched out his hand from the altar, saying, Seize him! Then his hand, which he stretched out toward him, dried up, so that he was unable to bring it back to him. And the altar was split apart, and the ashes poured out from the altar,
according to the sign which the man of Elohim had given by the word of Yahuwah. And the sovereign answered and said to the man of Elohim, please appease the face of Yahuwah your Elohim and pray for me, that my hand might be restored to me. And the man of Elohim appeased the face of Yahuwah, and the sovereign's hand was restored to him and became as it was before. The sovereign then said to the man of Elohim, come home with me and refresh yourself, and I give you a gift. But the man of Elohim said to the sovereign, if you were to give me half your house, I do not go in with you, nor do I eat bread nor drink water in this place. For so he commanded me by the word of Yahuwah, saying, do not eat bread nor drink water, nor return by the same way you came. So he went another way and did not return by the way he came to Bethel. And a certain old prophet was dwelling in Bethel. And his sons came and told him all the works that the man of Elohim had done that day in Bethel, the words which he had spoken to the sovereign. And their father said to them, which way did he go? And his sons had seen which way the man of Elohim went, who came from Yahudah. And he said to his sons, saddle the donkey for me. And they saddled the donkey for him, and he rode on it, and went after the man of Elohim, and found him sitting under a terebinth. And he said to him, are you the man of Elohim who came from Yahudah? And he said, I am. And he said to him, come home with me and eat bread. And he said, I am not able to return with you or to go in with you, nor am I to eat bread or drink water with you in this place. For word came to me by the word of Yahuwah, do not eat bread nor drink water there, nor return by going the way you came. And he said to him, I too am a prophet like you. And the messenger spoke to me by the word of Yahuwah, saying, bring him back with you to your house, and let him eat bread and drink water. But he lied to him. So he turned back with him and ate bread in his house and drank water. And it came to be, as they sat at the table, that the word of Yahuwah came to the prophet who had brought him back. And he cried out to the man of Elohim who came from Yahudah, saying, thus said Yahuwah, because you have rebelled against the mouth of Yahuwah, and have not guarded the command which Yahuwah your Elohim commanded you, and turned back and ate bread and drank water in the place of which he said to you, do not eat bread, nor drink water. Your body shall not enter the burying place of your fathers. And it came to be, after he had eaten bread and after he had drunk, that he saddled the donkey for him, for the prophet whom he had brought back. And he went, and a lion met him on the way and killed him. And his body was thrown on the way, and the donkey was standing by it, and the lion was standing by the body. Was the lid on? Or was the lid off?
We can see here at the beginning that when the sovereign approached the man of Yah, the lid was on tight. But when the prophet approached, the lid had become loosened and cost the man of Yah his life. Let's meditate on this for a moment. Now let's take a moment to meditate over some precepts on keeping the lid tightly closed. Psalms 119 verses 10 through 11. I have sought you with all my heart. Let me not stray from your commands. I have hidden the word in my heart. Proverbs chapter 7, verses 1 to 3. My son, guard my words and treasure up my commands with you. Guard my commands and live, and my Torah as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 18. And you shall lay up these words of mine in your heart and in your being, and shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. Do not let this book of the Torah depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you guard to do according to all that is written in it. Colossians 3, verse 16. Let the word of Messiah dwell in you richly, teaching and admonishing one another in all wisdom. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 1 to 2. My son, do not forget my Torah, and let your heart watch over my commands. For length of days and long life and peace they add to you. Psalms chapter 40, verse 8. I have delighted to do your pleasure, O my Elohim, and your Torah is within my heart. Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 4. Then he taught me and said to me, let your heart hold fast my words, guard my commands, and live. Israel, let's make sure we keep the lid on the jar. We now ask our sister to close out by giving us a summary and how each story relates to the parable of the jar.
In Luke chapter 8, we see as the farmer sowed some seeds that some fell by the wayside on the rocks, trodden down, or birds ate it. This relates to the lid being off. Some fell on good ground and produced fruit. We could see that the lid was tight. In 2 Kings 18 and 20, we find it in both chapters that Hezekiah had given away the treasures that belonged in the house of Yah. This shows us that Hezekiah had taken the lid off. In Psalms 137, the captors of Yasharel had asked them to sing a song of Zion, but Yasharel refused. Our forefathers had kept the lid on tightly. In Psalms 119, Dawid mentioned that he kept the laws, statutes, and commands in his heart, showing that the lid was on tightly. In Baruch 4, tells us not to give what is profitable to Yasharel to a strange nation. Here we are commanding to keep the lid tight among Yasharel. In 1 Kings chapter 13, the lid was on tightly, as the man of Yah told the sovereign that he would not go home with him. But when approached by the deceitful prophet, the man of Yah had taken the lid off, which caused him to be eaten by a lion. Yasharel, let's keep the lid on. This is our responsibility, as Yah commanded.
Toda Rabbah for that summary and how these stories relate to the parable of the jar. Toda Rabbah to our other sister and brother for joining us here on Beside Still Waters. To continue in this meditation, there are many stories in Scripture and the apocryphal books that we can read. We have the 3 Hebrew men, Jonah, David, and Bathsheba. And the list goes on and on. Let's ask ourselves if the lid was on or off as we read any story from scriptures to help give us a deeper meaning. Let's see ourselves in these stories so that ABBA YAH can make corrections and better us in life. Now, for all those who made it here today on Beside Still Waters, we ask that you listen to this meditation once again and with absolutely no interference and in total quietness, one-on-one with ABBA YAH. Please write down the chapters and verses in this video so that they can be read alone with the Chief Shepherd sitting beside us. Now let's think of the many ways that Yah has given something profitable to Yisrael, but Yisrael gave it to a strange nation. I'm going to leave some verses on the screen below. Please write them down and read them while keeping the parable of the jar in mind. Ask yourself if the jar is open or closed when reading these verses. As we go through life, let's keep the principle of this parable in mind to help keep us on the narrow road that Yah has put before us. There will be helpful links in the description box below. Feel free to leave a helpful comment that may uplift another. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video. Let's keep in mind that the parable of the sower and the parable of the jar both hold the same principles. So the next time Yah gives us a message or command and someone wants us to change it, just remember that the Messiah says,
Behold, a sower went forth to sow, and some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. Hear you therefore the parable of the sower. He also that received seed among the thorns is he that hears the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becomes unfruitful.
Shalom, and stay strong.